So I wanted to tell you just real quick where the Cajun people came from. France. Okay, so I'll get all the Cajun people, I grew up in Louisiana. It has some good things. The Cajun people are descendants of French Canadians from like so-called Canada, right? Quebec. So they were up there in like the early 1600s, and they're actually forming an intentional community, which like I think we all get that, right? You either lived in one, or you want to live in one, or you lived in one that lasted like a year or two, because it happens. I was in one for 10 years, which is like super long compared to most. So they were doing their intentional community thing, like it wasn't based in like greed and violence. You know, the Europeans doing that thing. You've heard about that, right? Yeah. So they actually were trying to form this thing going. They're working with the local people. The Mi'kmaq was the name of the people, the indigenous people there. And they taught them how to fish and hunt, and they had a good thing going. But what we can, from what I've heard, and so we're descendants from them. But like, you know, how did they get to Louisiana? That's the sad part. So I'm gonna play a sad song to go with it. But what happened was like the French and the English, you know, the ones who were violent and all that, they were all, you know, we know that the English won out, and that's why. Okay, we don't have to go all that sad. So, but I'll stick to the sad part right now. The British wanted the Acadian people. They call themselves Acadians. So like the Acadian National Park, and you know, some car company decided to call their car the Acadian, right? But there was a real people there called the Acadians, or l'Acadien. So that's where my people came from. They were expelled by the British because when the British asked them to become like English citizens, they were like, no. And so they kept asking over and over again for like 50 years, and finally, you remember King George III? We all remember him. That's him. He was there, and then they said, look, okay, these Acadians are not listening, so they put them. Here comes the sad part. They put them on ships. They forced them off the land. So they distributed them wherever they could in all their colonies and stuff. And we call it Le Grand Dérangement. Anyone know what that means?
Big derangement.
Big derangement, exactly. Or also the Great Disruption. So the intentional community, it wasn't broken up because like arguments over what goes in the compost. Or like whose turn is it to cook dinner? You know, like intentional community stuff. It was outward pressure ended it, but it wasn't all over. Okay. Yeah. That was more talking than music.
We love it. We love it.
Yes, good.
Thank you.
All right. This is a Cajun accordion. It's 12 buttons. It's not like what you normally see up here. That's too much if you want all that stuff. That's too much for me. I want to play it for y'all because I've been learning it. And so if I can't find the buttons, if the buttons are just not there, I have a backup plan. So. I think the mic's working for that one. Okay, this one's called Je Passé. J'ai passé devant ta porte, j'ai crié Baba la belle, y'a personne qui n'a pas répondu, oh oui, mon cœur fait mal. That's about all I know. Okay. All right, so I do have a thing, which is to let someone else play. But to finish up, like I'm imagining still that y'all are a great like audience happening upon this poor soul busking over here. And so I'm imagining someone saying like, "Hey, La Rosette, what about the rest of the story?" So I'm like, "Yes, I will tell you."
What about the rest of the story? More.
Okay. So you're like, okay, how did these Acadians become Cajuns in Louisiana, right? Because I didn't tell that part. This is where the Spanish came in, and I don't know how exactly this happened. But the Spanish offered this land because they own Louisiana right now at this time, so like late 1700s. And they said, well, hey, no one's like hanging out in the swamps. Maybe y'all want to live there. And they were like, well, we don't have a home, so let's hang out with the mosquitoes. And so they regrouped. So the community came back together, and I'm one of their descendants. That's my dad's side. My mom is Mexican Venezuelan. I mean, you need to know these things. So let's see, what was that? What else is the important parts? Okay, so they came down, and I'm playing. One reason I'm playing is because there was tons of assimilation. It happens, but over the years, the Cajun people, like imagine like their Cajun home. It's like all Cajun all the time.
Yeah.
All right, and then over the years, there was like a lot of pressure to assimilate, to become more American. And one of the things that happened actually, they called themselves L'Acadien, but it turned into Cajun. Does that make sense? L'Acadien. L'Acadien. Okay, so then they became the Cajuns. So that's how that happened. Now you know for trivia night or whatever. Or never again. So I imagine this house, this Cajun house, and they're slowly like, let's get rid of this, let's get more American things. So then today it's like all IKEA and Target house. But there were a few people around that's like, no, save that. They threw it out. Like, no, save it. So the music is like one of the last things. Like there are very few people who speak Cajun French. Still down there. I can't speak it, my parents can't speak it. So I'm doing the music to kind of like keep it going. So thank y'all. Okay. I'm gonna. Is my timing okay? Anybody like keeping track of stuff? I have to change my accordion because I'm a busker and I have to do that. Here's my shiny one. You know it's gonna be good. Okay, so this last one I'm gonna tie it into why we're here. This is the song I know the best. The first one I really learned. It's called Bayou Pom Pom. And so I'm kind of change up the story because you won't know what I'm saying mostly anyway. And so I'll tell you because it's actually a happy song. It's like the first one's like, it's a two-step. But what it's about, there's this one character. I'm going to call this person Jacques. Jacques wants to meet up with their love named Sulis. I'm calling them Sulis. They're actually in my family tree. This is real names. So Jacques and Sulis are going to meet up at this bridge. Jacques got all cute, shows up, and Sulis is not there. Right. So and then Jacques is like, where? And then Jacques is like, I bet Sulis is off with Ulysse, also in my family tree. These are real names. Ulysse has taken Sulis away from me. So that's why we're here. Right? We're Jacques, and we love Sulis. Right? Sulis is like basic freedoms, basic rights. So, reproductive or just queer rights, or all the little things that we all need. So, okay, and who is Ulysse?
Schoolist.
Right, the people taking it away. No. Yeah. So that's what this is about. Now you can just listen. It's this is the one I know the best. This is the one that I will definitely not mess up. It's called Bayou Pom Pom. Oh, and then I'm gonna just walk off the stage after this, like, to light, to thunderous applause somewhere in there. And I want to say thank y'all.
Thank you.
Ruth Bader, Cactus Club, everybody who organized, and all of y'all showing up. I know there are a lot of people who wanted to come who didn't get to make it, so all of them too. And yeah, and it's just an honor to be on the stage. So thank y'all.